Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 3, the status quo, Chapter 1, Questions by Vidura, and this morning we're doing text 43. We're very fortunate to have His Grace Prananath Prabhu from ISKCON, Philadelphia, to give the class. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Kṛṣṇa, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
And it's all yours.
Patithanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, thank you all for joining. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamunatira vanachari. Yamunatira vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamunatira vanachari. Yamunatira vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana. Yamunatira vanachari. Yamunatira vanachari. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन। यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन। यामुनतीरावनचारी। यामुनतीरावनचारी। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमन हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai,
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमन हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai,
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
Jai,
कौन फाउंडर आचार्य जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai,
रामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय।
Jai,
प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai,
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की जय।
Jai,
ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय।
Jai,
मायापुर नवि धाम की जय।
Jai,
गंगा माई की जय। जमुना
Jai,
माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी
Jai,
महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय।
Jai,
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining and thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to speak primarily for my own purification and hope I can share something that is pleasing to all the devotees. We are reading, studying, and discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, titled Questions by Vidura, and text number 43. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 नूनं नृपाणां त्रिमदोत्पतानां महीं मुहुश्चालयतां चमूभिः वदात् प्रपन्नार्तिजिहीर्षयेषु अप्युपेक्षतागं भगवान् कुरूणाम् नूनं नृपाणां त्रिमदोत्पतानां महीं मुहुश्चालयतां चमूभिः वदात् प्रपन्नार्तिजिहीर्षयेषु अप्युपेक्षतागं भगवान् कुरूणाम् नूनं नृपाणां त्रिमदोत्पतानां महीं मुहुश्चालयतां चमूभिः वदात् प्रपन्नार्तिजिहीर्षयेषु अप्युपेक्षतागं भगवान् कुरूणाम्.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And I ask permission to change the tune slightly. It's one that's more comfortable, if you don't mind.
Please, please. It's okay.
Okay. nūnaṁ nṛpāṇāṁ tri-madotpathānāṁ mahīṁ muhuś camūbhiḥ vadhāt prapannārti-jihīrṣayeśo upaikṣatāghaṁ bhagavān kurūṇām. Hare Krishna.
नूनं नृपाणां त्रिमदोत्पतानां mahīṁ muhuś cālayatāṁ camūbhiḥ vadhāt prapannārti-jihīrṣayeśo upaikṣatāghaṁ bhagavān kurūṇām. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
nūnaṁ nṛpāṇāṁ tri-madotpathānāṁ mahīṁ muhuś cālayatāṁ camūbhiḥ vadhāt prapannārti-jihīrṣayeśo upaikṣatāghaṁ bhagavān kurūṇām. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll go to the synonyms. Nūnaṁ, of course. nṛpāṇāṁ, of the kings. Tri-madotpathānāṁ, going astray out of false pride. Mahīṁ, earth. Muhuś, constantly. Cālayatāṁ, agitating. Camūbhiḥ, by movement of soldiers. Vadhāt, from the act of killing. Prapanna, surrendered. Arti-jihīrṣaya, willing to relieve the distress of the sufferers. Ishaha, the Lord. Api, in spite of. Upaikṣata, weighted. Agham, offenses. Bhagavān, the Supreme Lord. Kurūṇām, of the Kurus. Translation: despite his being the Lord and being always willing to relieve the distress of sufferers, he, Kṛṣṇa, refrained from killing the Kurus. Although they committed all sorts of sins, and although he saw other kings constantly agitating the earth by their strong military movements carried out under the dictation of three kinds of false pride. As declared in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord appears in the mortal world to execute his much needed mission of killing the miscreants and giving protection to the suffering faithful. In spite of that mission, Lord Kṛṣṇa tolerated the insult to Draupadi by the Kurus and the injustices perpetrated against the Pandavas, as well as insults to himself. The question may be raised, why did he tolerate such injustices and insults in his presence? Why did he not chastise the Kurus immediately? When Draupadi was insulted in the assembly by the Kurus by their attempt to see her naked in the presence of all, the Lord protected Draupadi by supplying an unlimited length of clothing. But he did not chastise the insulting party immediately. The silence of the Lord did not mean, however, that he excused the offenses of the Kurus. There were many other kings on earth who had become very proud of three kinds of possessions: wealth, education, and followers. And they were constantly agitating the earth by movements of military strength. The Lord was just waiting to get them together on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and kill them all at one time, just to make a shortcut in his killing mission. Godless kings or heads of state, when puffed up by advancement of material wealth, education, and increase of population, always make a show of military strength and give trouble to the innocent. When Lord Kṛṣṇa was personally present, there were many such kings all over the world, and he thus arranged for the battle of Kurukshetra. In his manifestation of Vishvarupa, the Lord expressed his mission of killing as follows: I have willingly descended to the earth in my capacity of inexorable time in order to decrease the unwanted population. I shall finish all those who have assembled here, except you, the Pandavas. This killing does not wait for you to take part in it. It is already arranged. All will be killed by me. If you want to become famous as the hero of the battlefield and thus enjoy the booty of war, then O Savyasachi, just become the immediate cause of this killing and thus take the credit. I've already killed all the great warriors, Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, Karna, and many other great generals. Do not worry. Fight the battle and be famous as a great hero. The Lord always wants to see his devotee as the hero of some episode which he himself performs. He wanted to see his devotee and friend Arjuna as the hero of the battle of Kurukshetra. And thus he waited for all the miscreants of the world to assemble. That and nothing else is the explanation of his waiting. Jai. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Sapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Sachinandana Swaminiti Namine. Nityananda Priyapreshta Dina Bhadre Kripa Hari Sankirtana Sharanam. Hare Krishna, thank you. Before I speak, I seek all of your blessings and permission so I can try to repeat. So here, this chapter titled Questions by Vidura, and we see many questions asked by Vidura, but in this particular verse, is there a question? Yes, anyone? Did you see a question in the translation? Vidura is just asserting his opinion, actually, his view or his perspective. Prabhupada has a question in the purport that is being answered through this verse. But yeah, the translation, just again, I'll read it. Despite his being the Lord and being always willing to relieve the distress of sufferers, he, Kṛṣṇa, refrained from killing the Kurus. Although they committed all sorts of sins, and although he saw other kings constantly agitating the earth by their strong military movements carried out under the dictation of the three kinds of false pride. And Prabhupada explains in the purport that Kṛṣṇa didn't kill them immediately when they committed these offenses because he wanted to bring them all together, Duryodhana and so many others. He wanted to kill them at once. And also, most importantly, Srila Prabhupada also explains that Kṛṣṇa wanted Arjuna to be the hero of the battle. So we can see this is a very, very important point. The theme, or the important theme of this verse is Kṛṣṇa's love for his devotees. Many people have so many negative views or opinions about Kṛṣṇa, about the Supreme Lord, right? Anybody has heard any such negative opinions?
Some people don't believe Krishna is God. I had someone tell me right to my face, and I immediately left the area and left her standing there.
Yes, there's some kind of people like that. Then there are people who may know Kṛṣṇa, but have so much negative perception about him, right? Oh, how come he did I was in a Bhagavad Gita class on Sunday. A relatively new person who joined. She's meaning she's been joining for some time now, several months, but was an atheist, and had strong affection for Lord Ramachandra. She said, "Oh, Krishna stealing these clothes when the women are taking bath. Uh, I don't like all this. How can, what example is he setting? Just to give an example, this is how people have so many misconceptions. Some people say, oh, look, how much suffering is happening in this world, and Krishna is letting it happen. So people have all kinds of misconceptions about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Um, but Krishna says here, or in the Bhagavad Gita, the first two lines of the purport today, Prabhupada is explaining why Krishna comes to this material world. A lot of misconceptions people have is because people view Krishna as an ordinary human being. So they tend to see everything through the material eye, through the material senses, and consider him as an ordinary personality. So, anyways, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, the two popular verses, Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam, dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And there is another verse, yada yada hi dharmasya Jnanirbhavati Bharata Abhyudhanam Dharmasya Tadatmanam Sujamyam. So wherever and whenever there is a decline in religious principles, he comes again and again to establish dharma, to kill the miscreants, to protect the devotees, right? So to remove these demoniac forces, Krishna comes, and sometimes he directly comes, sometimes he sends his authorized representatives, but he does in so many different ways. The point here to remember is his main motivation is to fulfill the desire of his devotees. And pure devotees, they only have one desire. And what is the desire of the pure devotees?
To serve Krishna.
Yeah, to serve Krishna and make everybody pure devotees of Krishna. So they want Krishna to come and help everyone, to kill, just to kill the demons. He can just do that by the blink of an eye, right? So, what Krishna says, Kalosmi, time I am. People have this objection, many times. There's so much killing. Krishna is allowing so much killing to happen. People even say, oh, this is another misconception. Oh, look, Krishna encouraged war in Kurukshetra. Right? Oh, he's encouraging killing. Krishna is saying, time I am. In reality, Krishna is killing every moment in the form of time. Right? Time is the greatest destroyer. Time is the controller. The misconception is thinking that I can control everything, I can control anything. But no, everything is under the control of Krishna. Maya dyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam hetunanena tu kaunteya jagat viparivartate. Everything is happening under my direction. Of course, there's a verse before that, Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Under the influence of false ego, the living ahankar, false ego, the living entity thinks I am the doer, But in that verse, Krishna says everything's happening under the influence of the three modes of material nature, Prakriti. And that Prakriti is under the control of whom? Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Under my control, under my supervision. So, day by day, every day we are dying. From the moment we are born, we are dying. So Krishna is doing everything, Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. So we may think, many people think, I'm not dying, but everybody is. Every single day. So point is, he really didn't have to come uh, to just kill these demons. And there are many different facets to the Supreme Lord, right? Uh, uh, we can see Krishna's activities from so many different perspectives and get different instructions from these different perspectives. So, what is Krishna telling Arjuna is that, to make him a hero, to make Arjuna the hero of this battle, Krishna takes a lowly position of what? As a chariot driver. Because of his love for Arjuna, because of his love for Pandavas, he is willing to do, he's willing to even play, the part of like an Uber driver. Go left, go right, go straight, wherever, He's willing to do whatever Arjuna asks him to do. And whatever he does it expertly. Mm. And yeah, the other main point of this verse is this increasing demoniac forces, and we see the Bhagavatam since long time, there's always eternal battle between suras and asuras. Both are created by the Supreme Lord, and sometimes people become more and more sinful. And when people become more and more sinful or commit more and more sinful activities, what happens? The earth becomes overburdened by such people. And we saw, how Bhumi Devi approaches Brahma, that the earth is overburdened. She's overburdened by these demoniac kings. And she makes a plea to Brahma, who goes to Kshirodakasai Vishnu. Yeah. Um, to request, and then the Lord says, yes, I'll appear soon. So anyway, so Lord comes, and Lord comes in this age as Krishna, again as Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya brought the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Harinam Sankirtan. So this is how the Lord is, this is Lord's service to the living entities. He upholds the religious principles. And sometimes, as I said, he sends his devotees. And when his devotees are overwhelmed, then he personally comes. We saw many thousands of years ago, Lord appeared as Parashuram. He had to kill all these arrogant kings who were exploiting all the citizens. And it is explained that he swung his axe, faster than the speed of the mind. Can you imagine the speed of the mind? The speed of the mind is the fastest compared to anything, right? You can think from here in Harrisburg or in Princeton or in Philadelphia, just you can think about Vrindavan or any place and you can be there that second. That's how fast the mind travels. He after destroying 21 generations of demoniac kings, we read there was no one to rule, and the heirs of these kings were not qualified to take the position. So they made a plan to bring sages. So these princes, all the princesses were married to sages who were fixed in austerity. And then they had a progeny, who were all saintly kings called Raja Rishis. But even there, you see, demons are always creating trouble. We saw, demons are fighting with Indra, you know. So, and the demons kicked out the demigods. And here we see the demons, who are living in some lower planetary systems. Sometimes they are on the earthly planet. And the burden became so much, and Bhumi was so overburdened by these demoniac kings and approached Brahma. So, um, I'm just trying to explain some of the circumstances and the background for that led to the Lord's appearance. And then when the Lord left, he established saintly rule. Then what happens? The tendency in this material world, what happens with time? Things go down, right? You have let's say there is a nice road laid out from the forest to a main highway that is coming to the city. And what happens if that road that is laid out from the forest, inside of the forest to the main road, is not used for a long time? What happens? It's all covered and it's lost, right? So this is what happens. So again and again the Lord comes, and again there is fight between the demoniac people and the godly people. So many wars between demons and the demigods. And as long as there is material world, there will be wars, cold wars, so much political maneuvering. There's always some political agendas, personal agendas. So as long as there are demoniac minded people, there will be wars. So in Kurukshetra, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, we saw actually everybody was assembled to fight, but the circumstances that led to that battle was that Pandavas were being harassed in so many different ways. The Kauravas tried to kill the Pandavas, and Kṛṣṇa protected them. And the Pandavas did not retaliate several times, and even Kṛṣṇa didn't retaliate for this harassment. But he waited and arranged for all these demoniac kings to assemble together. Yeah. Of course, Kṛṣṇa wanted to do this in a peaceful way, but Duryodhana was not interested to amicably resolve the matter. See, after exile in Virata, actually Yudhishthira never wanted the war. And upon Yudhishthira's request, Kṛṣṇa came to Hastinapur as a peacemaker, right? And he made different offers to the Kauravas. And Kṛṣṇa said, hey, look, the Pandavas are also Kshatriyas, yeah? And they need some kingdom. Some kingdom they need. So please give something to them. That's how Kshatriyas function, They need the kingdom and they need subjects. And then he also said, if you can't give them a kingdom, then at least give them, what was the request?
It's 5 villages.
5 villages. Yeah. And what was Duryodhana's response?
Nothing.
He was so selfish, so cruel minded. He said, forget about 5 villages. I'm not going to give even a needle hole size of land. A needle hole. See how selfish and cruel he was. So, and at that point, what did Duryodhana think? When Kṛṣṇa came as a peace messenger, he thought, he and Shakuni, they both knew already that Krishna was coming. So they planned to trap, kidnap, arrest him. But that didn't work. Krishna manifested his universal form or partial. And Bhishma could see, and few others could see. And Duryodhan was still thinking. He could capture Krishna, thinking, Krishna is doing some magic. At this point, Krishna could have easily killed, right? Could have easily killed Duryodhan and others.
Yeah.
But he chose not to. And then when Draupadi, Prabhupada, so this was one thing, he said, insult to himself also, Krishna did not kill them immediately. And then Draupadi, Prabhupada also gives this example, when Yudhishthira Maharaj lost Draupadi in the gambling match, how Kṛṣṇa and others, Kṛṣṇa suggested or recommended to drag Draupadi into the assembly, and Dushasan drags her and starts disrobing her in the assembly. Krishna could have easily killed. Again, the answer is, and the whole point is, Krishna wanted to glorify his devotees. And so many times in the wax house, and they tried to kill the Pandavas. When they were in the forest, the demons tried to attack and kill the Pandavas. But Krishna was always there to help and protect the Pandavas at all times. And same thing happened to Vidura. Right? The chapter is questions by Vidura, but the circumstances that led to Vidura's leaving the palace. Right? He was the well-wisher of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan. And so many times Vidura instructed Dhritarashtra, right when Duryodhan was born, get rid of this child. If you don't get rid of him now, he's going to become the cause of ruination of the entire Kuru dynasty. But Dhritarashtra was so emotionally attached. And every time Vidur gave an advice to Dhritarashtra, he went to Duryodhan and told him. So once when Duryodhan wanted to build this small palace right across for playing the gambling match, Vidura told Dhritarashtra, don't do this. Don't do this. Dhritarashtra goes and tells Duryodhan, and Duryodhan says, if you stop me, I'm going to suicide. Emotional blackmail. And Dhritarashtra goes back and tells Vidura the same thing. And what does Vidura tell Dhritarashtra? Good riddance. What will Duryodhan do? Once he leaves the palace, all that is because of power. Once he leaves the palace, nothing. So he knew Duryodhan would never leave. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is then Duryodhan insults Vidura, calling him the son of a maid servant. You ate my salt and you are talking against me, But Vidura, in spite of all these insults, at that point, Vidura knew. Vidura understood that this is Krishna's plan. And it is Krishna who saved Vidura. So many instances in the whole Mahabharata teaches us so many of these examples. And the other important key point is Krishna doesn't do any piecemeal program. So he waited for the right opportunity, got all the demoniac kings together, and got rid of all of them. Many times we see this happens even in this material world. Like I said, there are different facets to how Krishna works in this material world. Sometimes they come in the form of catastrophes, calamities. There's so many different ways. Prabhupada also explains another point in this purport is that the kings who rule the world, who were not guided by religious principles, were guided by profit, adoration, and conquest. So demoniac people, the tendency is to achieve power, right? They want to be controllers, and once they get the power, they want to maintain the power. And people, the other important point is the people who act on behalf of these demoniac people are also demons. Not just the kings, or people who act and support are also. In one lecture, Srila Prabhupada talks about this. He says there are only two types of people in this world. Yeah. If you are not worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you are a demon. It's just devotees and demons. Because the goal of life, Prabhupada explains, is to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And whoever has any other desire, or even have a lifestyle that is unfavorable for that, to reach that ultimate goal of life, they all are demoniac and will be destroyed in due course of time. And only devotees will be triumphant. Of course, as long as the devotee is fixed in devotional service. And no matter what calamities, devotees are never destroyed. Right? Krishna always protects his devotees. We saw just in the life of Pandavas, they were put through so many calamities. So many. And every time Krishna protected them. And Prabhupada also in one lecture explains that, in this present age of Kali, demoniac people will continue to increase. And in some form or shape, these demoniac people will cause disturbances to the lives of devotees or the lifestyle of devotees. But ultimately, Krishna will protect. Just like we saw in the case of Prahlad Maharaj. Yeah. He was harassed so many ways by his own father, demoniac father, Hiranyakashipu. He tried to kill him so many ways, but Krishna protected him. Same way Devaki was troubled so much by Kamsa. But it was Krishna who arranged for Kamsa to be killed and protect his devotees. Kaunteya pratijani name bhaktya pranashyati. So Krishna protects. Says, boldly declare, O Arjuna, my devotee never perishes. So of course, as long as we are fixed in devotion to Krishna, Krishna protects. It's not just from physical harm, but he also says, whatever we lack, Krishna says he'll give. He'll guide us in our spiritual life, actively helping each of us in Krishna consciousness by giving intelligence, by giving the ability, by giving protection, by giving everything to the one who surrenders to him. Because there is no way, there is no other way, there is no other way for us to be successful. Right? Krishna says at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. So give up all these other ideas you have how to be successful. And most importantly, he says, don't fear. Don't fear. I'll protect you. So when devotees make Krishna as the only goal of life, then Krishna will make it happen. Because he's everything for the devotee. And if we stay focused in bhakti and follow the instructions of the spiritual master and share this knowledge with others, especially in this age of Kali, when large masses of people are so misguided, wrongly influenced by this demoniac culture, and people are searching for ways of life or for a way of life to survive amidst all so many difficulties and wrong propagandas. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining in this purport how Krishna works. And it's very difficult for us many times to understand what is Krishna's plan, how it will work. In my own life, I had some experiences where at that moment, sometimes it feels, oh, what did I do? Or why me? But then, you look back and see, oh, wow, that was the best thing to happen. Krishna had the best plan for me. So, Prabhupada is explaining, in his teachings that just engage in the Sankirtan movement, chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. I may not be on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, but I'm on the battlefield of life. Our only weapons are Srila Prabhupada's books, the chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and most importantly, the association of devotees. And so we will be protected and freed from all demoniac forces. And Krishna will let some things happen to a certain point of time. And then boom, he'll finish it up. So just like he did in Kurukshetra. And another point, and then I'll stop here and we can take some comments, reflections, corrections, is in the translation, Srila Prabhupada writes that and although he saw other kings constantly agitated the earth by their strong military movements carried out under the dictation of three kinds of false pride. Yeah, this is very important. Wealth, material education, and birth. Many times, a living entity may think, oh, I'm born in such and such family. Or sometimes I'm a born Brahmana, I'm born this, I'm born so rich, and this causes pride. High material education sometimes, oh, I have this degree, I have that degree, causes so much pride. And a proud person is consumed with himself. I have so much of this, I have so much of that. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that pride is a symptom of ignorance. And ignorance of what? Ignorant of my position, that I am Jivera Swarupo and Nityera Krishna Das, that I am an eternal servant of Krishna. But if I have pride in my heart, then Krishna will not, then it will keep Krishna away from me. And in the Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, text 8, Krishna says, pridelessness is a sign of knowledge. Amanitvam madambitvam ahimsa shantirad. Amanitvam. Amanitvam means humility. And adambitvam is pridelessness. So Kṛṣṇa says first, without humility, we cannot have knowledge. Uh, and people have so much material knowledge and they become so puffed up or proud. But the Bhagavad Gita explains that's really not the real knowledge. Real knowledge is that I'm a spirit soul, I'm an eternal servant of Kṛṣṇa. And without understanding this point, we cannot understand Kṛṣṇa. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada explains, actually when Parikshit Maharaj is making rounds, and you know, bull is being beaten. So in the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 17, Punishment and Reward of Kali, in the text 24, in the purport, Prabhupada explains, I'll just read this. Yes. In the age of Satya, truthfulness, your 4 legs were established by the 4 principles of austerity: cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. But it appears that 3 of your legs are broken due to rampant irreligion in the form of pride, lust for women, and intoxication. So it says in the form of pride. So it's very important to remember this. Look at the world today. So much of military, similar situation, wars happening, bombing, so much military activities. So people are terrorized in this world. All this is happening based on pride, irreligious principles. Sooner or later, Kṛṣṇa will come and finish up all of these activities. It's all due to increase in irreligion. So if we don't give up our pride, then we won't understand Kṛṣṇa. If I have pride, then if I become proud, then I think I am powerful, I am the enjoyer, I am this, I am that. And as long as there is pride, we can't understand Kṛṣṇa. So Queen Kunti also explains in her prayers, Janma Ishwarya Shruta Shribhir Edamana Madhapuman, right? So you can easily be approached by only those who are materially exhausted. So, and in the purport of that verse, in the 8th chapter of the first canto, Prabhupada explains, what materially advanced means. Taking birth in an aristocratic family, possessing great wealth and education, and all these are not favorable to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, you cannot know the peace formula without Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Unless we engage in devotional service and try to dedicate our lives for Kṛṣṇa, we cannot be peaceful. Hare Krishna, I'll pause here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. Please correct and add anything you may see as fit. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for a wonderful lecture. Yes, what's happening with, or at least what's described what Duryodhana was doing, and the demonic activity is still going on, even now it's still going on. But Kṛṣṇa had, he said, as Srila Prabhupada said at the very end, that really again, the very end of the purport, he was saying that he wanted to wait for all the demonic. He planned for all them to be in one spot and get rid of them in one go. Yeah, and he did that in 18 days and gave credit to Arjuna. So that is Kṛṣṇa. Thank you very much for explaining to us. Devotees, you have any questions? You have any comments? Please unmute yourself
or corrections.
and do that. I don't see any corrections to what you said, but personally, no. But comments, questions? Dear Krishna Prabhu, I accept my humble obeisances to our God, Srila Prabhupada. Please
Hare
go
Krishna,
ahead.
Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thanks for such a nice class. So many nice points. One question I have, Prabhu, is like you were mentioning, Krishna will provide anything we lack, or that verse that comes in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, how to make sure, or how to make ourselves ready for receiving that uh, that correction from Krishna, or whatever we are lacking. Krishna is ready to give to us, but we should be also ready to accept it. So just wanted to understand how that process will work. We might be blocking ourselves to receive Krishna's mercy. That is quite possible. So how to take that verse from Krishna completely?
Mm. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for asking such a wonderful practical question. So first and foremost is to remind myself that, things can be even worse than what they are, and that Krishna is very, very merciful. Krishna is very, very kind. To remind myself, oftentimes I might think that I deserve more, or the expectations are there, but to really understand how great Krishna is and how kind and how merciful he is, and when we understand that, then we realize how insignificant, you know, I am. I think this is something that I understand will come with time when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra very, very sincerely in that humble mood, in that begging mood. And through chanting, the heart is clean and the heart becomes fertile to receive that mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, all these anarthas that are there are going to make me think, or act on that platform of false ego. So, my understanding first is to chant sincerely in that humble, prayerful mood, so that first of all our heart becomes very fertile and receptive to Krishna, because His mercy is there, always there. His mercy is just, I am not in a favorable position to receive that mercy. So chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And second thing is to remind myself every day that Krishna is very, very merciful and kind. And whatever happens, yeah, that Krishna has a plan. And to see that that this is for my own for my own purification, in whatever circumstance that is. That takes, at least for somebody like me, a lot of practice, but I fail. But to see Krishna's hand in every situation, to remind myself that nothing happens without Krishna's will. It takes a lot of practice, but this is what I can share, Prabhu. One is to sincerely chant in that humble mood so the heart becomes favorable, but at the same time to remind myself that whatever is happening is that Kṛṣṇa has a plan, and to have faith that Kṛṣṇa will protect. And how do I develop that faith? In the association of wonderful advanced devotees like you and several others who have that faith.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Beautiful. Yeah, we need good association. And it's always lovely to see you whenever I meet with you. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for your association. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, please add or correct. I'm sure you had some thoughts on this, please.
No, Prabhu, I just wanted to understand from you, and I think what I understood is we need association of devotees who are progressive on the path, who are actually, they are aware and conscious of uh, that we need to make our effort in addition to everything else, so that we can accept, or like you said, we can make our heart more fertile to receive the mercy. So maybe Prakshit Prabhu, if you would like to add to that.
No,
Hare
it's
Krishna.
absolutely. I like the comment, the answer also. Same thing. We have to prepare ourselves by preparing the heart. Appeal
No,
to
I
Lord
just
Balaram or Lord Nityananda. Balaram carries the plow, and His Holiness Vaishana Swami has explained that the plow, as you know, it tills the soil, it makes the soil easier to plant. So Balaram tills our hearts, and then our hearts become more favorable to plant the seed of bhakti in it. And our bhakti lata will grow nicely. So yeah, it's along the same lines. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
I think, Prabhu, you were also saying something. Please go ahead.
No, I was just remembering, Prahlad and Kayadu were both listening to Narada Muni's instructions. Yeah, Prahlad was in the womb of his mother. But somebody may question how come, Prahlad became such a great devotee of the Lord. He had, and both received that mercy, right? Narada Muni was not less merciful to one versus the other. But how come, one versus the other? So, Prabhupada explains in one of the purports that he took the instructions to heart, and after he came out of the womb of his mother, he sincerely practiced it, But Kayadu was, although she was listening, but she still had a lot of attachments, material attachments. She was thinking and worrying, oh, what will happen to my husband? Where is he? Who will take care of my child? All these material attachments she still had. But the mercy is available like the sunshine to everybody. It's just how much we are willing to take advantage of that mercy, and fully benefit from it. Just that example I remember, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful, beautiful example, Prabhu. I really loved it. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Any other comments or questions? Now, I have one comment that always, in this whole situation of the part of the pastime of the Lord comes where Duryodhana becomes impossible to deal with. Now, you can't negotiate anything with them. And yeah, well, these days there's negotiation going on, right?
My way or highway.
But I mean, the demonic tendencies and the fact that this man, Duryodhana, does not care. He doesn't have a heart. That one point about this, right after this situation where the Lord came, and then it became clear that because he's rejected everything, Duryodhana rejected everything, the only thing left is for the war to happen. And the same Kṛṣṇa that you said, reminded us that they had planned to capture. The same Duryodhana goes to him and asks him for help after winning the capture. I was like, what kind of brain does this man have? To go to the person that you could, Now, we want, and Krishna gave him the Narayani army, but boy, he doesn't have a conscience, does he? The person they trying to capture, now you're going to ask for help for the thing. After giving him a hard time, now, and the war is going to happen, you go to him to try to get his army. It just blows my mind when I think about that. Duryodhana is really sick. Hare Krishna.
Excellent example. Wow. Yeah.
People are gonna be sometimes demons don't care, do they? They really don't care. They don't care.
I mean, it also again, I think, depicts his selfishness. You know, how selfish he was, utter disregard for any principles, anything is just whatever it takes. Whatever it takes for me to win and have an upper hand.
That's why he captured Bhishma also. He didn't want Bhishma to go anywhere because he knew Bhishma could control. He could actually win everything. He can even die when he wants to. And hey, I have that kind of person next to me, I'm assured of victory. He's always thinking like that, but extremely selfish. Anyway, we learn not to be like that by hearing other people and what they did. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Any final comments or questions? If not, thank you, Prabhu, for coming on. Your lectures are always quite inspiring. You know, delivered in a very calm way, but so much food for thought that's in there also. Thank you very much. And thank you, devotees, for coming on here. All right. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. And thank you, Prabhu, also.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha patitānāṁ pāvanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you all.
Hare Krishna.